On Mondays, we always strive here in the show and this particular segment just to give you updates on stories making headlines in the business space right here in our country so you can make informed decisions. Now, the big story today in the business space, what we are seeing is that Uganda so far has attracted investments worth $7.5 billion in the past 5 years. Now, these are statistics coming to us from the Uganda Investment Authority. Of course, our industries are doing well now. The UIA actually has so far in the past 5 years licensed, hear this, 1,900 projects valued at what I told you, $7.5 billion. Now, this is statistics coming to us, and pretty much the trend has been an upward trajectory. Now, according to the statistics coming from UIA, they say in the financial year 2013-2014, now, they were able to license 461 projects worth $2 billion. And of course, they say that in 2014-2015 financial year, this particular, kind of trend went slightly lower to about $1.4 billion from 327 projects. Now, according to the statistics, still going to the next financial year, 2015-2016, now this number actually raised to $1.5 billion from 353 projects. Now, of course, they say that this particular figure soared up in 2016 to 512 projects. Now, this has been an upward trajectory pretty much, and so they say in the past 5 years, actually, they've been able to earn this is $7.5 billion. Now, they still say they are on the right track to creating jobs, and they are actually having a goal that by 2020 they would have created a target of 1 million jobs for us, the Ugandans. Now, this is a good development because they say that their target was pretty much registering 1,500 projects, but they were able to surpass that target, and now they are at 1,900 projects. That's a good development right there. Of course, them surpassing the target with 400 projects, that's an amazing development right there. So be sure to grab your copies of the Daily Monitor. This has been highlighted right there for you. Of course, this is to ensure that you make informed decisions and just getting in the know of what's happening in the business world. Of course, if you can't get your hard copy, be sure to log into the e-paper of the Daily Monitor for you to get this and so much more. Now, we're moving on to yet another story. Now, this is a picture coming to us, and of course, this is with regards to the launch of, hear this, the MV Vanessa. Yes, this is a boat that was actually launched over the weekend by the Uganda Tourism Board, and it's a great development. Now, this MV Vanessa, pretty much it's a luxury boat, and its capacity stands at 54 passengers. And so, according to the new executive, chief executive, beg your pardon, of the Uganda Tourism Board, Miss Lily Ajarova, she says that the UTB is actually looking into making sure that they exploit, the opportunities that stand in the waters with regards to tourism. Now, she went on to say that there's a lot of capacity, a lot of, potential for the country in terms of tourism, thanks to Lake Victoria, the mighty lake right here in the country. Now, in her words, she said that we are underutilizing this water space with regards to tourism. Now, remember the statistics I did give you last week with regards to their target. They want to grow the tourism numbers to 2.1 million. Of course, this is a target that they're working so hard to ensure that they reach, and if they can, like the Uganda Investment Authority, surpass. Now, I'll just give you details of this particular boat. I told you it's a luxury boat. Yes, it's already been launched, and it has a capacity of 54 passengers. And I'm sure this will, I'm sure you're asking me, so Malai, it looks quite luxurious. How much did it actually cost? Now, the boat, according to online sources, it's actually speculated to cost between $200,000 that's about 741 million Uganda shillings, to about 350,000 $100,000 US. That's about 1.4 billion Uganda shillings. So I'm sure that's a story that interests you. Of course, be sure to grab more details of that. And for you, my business person, if you see this is a development, of course, look into that. Like the Chief Executive Officer of the UTB has said, there's a lot of potential that is yet to be exploited in the water space right here in the country. So if you're a business person, you've been trying to look at so where are the opportunities, what can I do, and you are passionate about the tourism sector and you have a key, focus or interest in the water space, look into this. So this should be, I think, a red alert, so to speak, or a green light for you to show you that there's potential in the water space. So get into researching more, get to understand what happens in that particular space and how you can get to invest and be a player in that particular sector. Now, moving on, the last update right here that we're getting in the business space, this will of course interest you. Now we are seeing MTN Uganda moving on to advertise positions for the deported staff. Now of course we did see a few months ago some top officials at MTN be deported by government. Apparently government moved on to say that they were in breach of what government called national security. They were a threat to national security. So some of this were actually deported. Now this is the pictures coming to us right there. Now we have the three officials who were deported, including the CEO, Mr. Wim van Helpoet. Now the three positions that have been advertised so far are, I will name this. Now we have the General Manager, Mobile Financial Services. We also have the General Manager, Sales and Distribution, and also the Chief Marketing Officer. Now what you'll be able to actually note right here is that the position for CEO is yet to be advertised. Of course, the CEO, like I said, Mr. Wim van Helpoet, was also deported. Of course, his deportation happened, slightly later after the three top officials were deported. And so this is a development that you're getting right here. If you've been having an eye on MTN, for you to be an employee right there, if you have the skills and expertise, be sure to grab, this story on the e-paper of the Daily Monitor and get the details and apply. These three positions have been advertised, so you have the opportunity to apply. That's it for business updates this particular morning. Of course, there's so much more for you, not just locally but internationally, so be in the know. Last week on Friday, I did tell you that it's paramount for business people to read. Reading is important. Now what happens, especially reading on business related articles and content, pretty much sharpens your mind. And I told you, now them that have gone ahead of us, the business captains who have made it. Of course we did sample a book by Mr. Donald Trump, the 45th president of the US. Now he wrote a book in conjunction with his partner, and what happens in books written by such captains, they pour their souls out, their hearts out to this books, just documenting their experiences in their entrepreneurial journeys. And so for you who should be pretty much a sharp business person, it's important to get these details and just read more about business and these people, so you can get to avoid the mistakes that they did, expensive mistakes that cost them quite a lot. Avoid those and make informed choices. And it's important. Yeah, so let's grow our businesses this particular year. Of course, tomorrow I'll come to you same time with more details on business. And remember, every Wednesday and Thursday, I get to look at your questions and give you customized solutions just for those. Remember, the number will be on your screen. The number is 07509330088. All you have to do, take your smartphone, okay, do a voice recording or a video recording of you telling me what your business challenge is, and right here every Wednesday and Thursday I'll get to give you solutions for just those. That's it for business updates this particular morning. Don't go too far. I'll be joined by the crew in a jiffy. Don't move a muscle.
There are many problems in the world, and there are many people with